Not quite ready to get back into the grind after their adventures, Gaz and Fujiko took some time off work. Gaz had been thinking on what Fujiko had said about their living conditions, and today he was going to scout out a place just down the road. It was quiet, out of the way, and had a beautiful view. A perfect location to establish a new home base, he felt. They couldn't afford to build everything right away, so it was important to plan things out for future expansion. Meanwhile, Fujiko had flown back to Al-Simhara, ready to explore the Pyramid of the Burning Sands, and immensely curious about what treasures the tomb might hold. Traveling down a flight of stairs, she found some of the strange fruit she had been sent to find. Unfortunately, there weren't enough, so Fujiko would have to continue deeper into the pyramid. With the walls up, it was time to focus on the inside. Not knowing what the final interior design would look like, the initial furnishings were going to be more economical. Fujiko had finally reached a large chamber that contained several bushes of the flame fruit. It was way more than she needed, but after all the trouble she'd gone to, she decided to take everything she could carry. Finding an expensive-looking bust lightened Fujiko's mood, but she was getting tired and hungry down here. She had ignored the advice of the locals and had gone exploring without much equipment. She soon regretted the oversight. In her exhaustion, she stumbled straight into a fire trap. Badly singed, but alive, Fujiko finally decided to head back to camp. It was time to put on the roof and work on the outside. This was awkward since most of the exterior would eventually be interior. With lighting and some final touches, the partial house would be ready to move into. Fujiko later returned to the pyramid, determined to find a real treasure. This time she vowed to be extremely cautious. Her dedication paid off, and she found a very nice-looking gem. At least now she had something for her troubles. Having her fill of tomb raiding, Fujiko decided to finally return to Tahia with the fruits of her labor. She just hoped that Morkikor still wanted them. Apparently, the corporation had been busy and now had a lead as to where their relics were located. Fujiko was told to talk to a man named Farid to find out more. However, it turned out that the book she was looking for was secretly being held by a family in the village, and she would need to convince them to let her look at it. Fujiko had had enough. She was tired, slightly burned, and just plain fed up. She had hoped digging around in ancient vaults would have been more financially rewarding. She didn't think she would be coming back to Egypt anytime soon. While Fujiko was away and the house was being built, Gaz had made an interesting discovery. He had previously lost all his property holdings when the tribal authority had monopolized all commercial ownership in the islands, leaving him in his current state. However, by twisting some obscure clauses in island law, Gaz found that since he was still technically a shaman of Felicity Island, he was entitled to some stake in the enterprise. Understanding the power of real estate from his time in Monopolville, Gaz decided to start his empire anew. When Fujiko returned home, the pair packed their few belongings and treasures and finally made the move out of the seaside shack. The new home was only a quarter finished and would need heavy redecorating, but Gaz knew once everything was in place, it would make an excellent base of operations.